everybody. Well, today it's kind of a dreary day today, so I'm making something I made before, but I want to do something in honor of my camel lady. Without her, we would not have a show. I'm making delicious Hershey's cocoa muffins today. What you need is 2 cups of flour. Make sure we have everything right. Yep, 2 cups of flour. Now, I've done this before, but you know what? I don't think I ever did this from this house. I'm not sure. I don't remember doing it from here. So, when we do this again, every time we do a recipe, it comes out twice as good. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Put this over here so we don't have to worry about it. The next thing I want to add in is 1 cup of sugar. Here we go. Gotta get all this out. Here we go. Perfect. 1 cup of sugar. Alright, let's move this out of the way because I'm very funny. In the morning I can make a mistake and add something in twice, and we don't want to have that ever happen. I also want to add in a 1/2 cup of cocoa. Hershey's. This is what we use all the time. Hershey's is a fantastic flavor. I love it. And you can make so many things with Hershey's cocoa. I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of cocoa. Okay. This is just a dry. And my camel lady absolutely loves this. And you know what? So do I. It's delicious. Okay, now the next thing I have to add is, all we need is baking soda, so you do not need baking powder with this. It's calling for 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Let me see if I can find it. 1 teaspoon of soda. Here we go. You have to make sure it all goes in it, because if you lose 1 drop of it, it will not rise. And we don't want to take a chance that we end up with chocolate scones. Okay, we're going to mix this together. Okay. Everything's got to be mixed together. Okay. Next thing is I'm going to add in my wet. We're going to mix that together. We'll add it to the dry. 1 egg. I mean, everybody likes different stuff, you know. I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of milk. Now keep this in mind, folks. It might not be enough, because one time we made this, it just was not enough, and we had to add in more. So 1/2 cup of milk. We'll try it and we'll see what happens. If it's too dry, we'll add in a little bit more. 1/2 cup of milk. I'm sure that's a 1/2 cup. Yes. I'm adding in a 1/2 cup of oil. Okay, 1/2 cup of oil. And I gotta get my vanilla. This is oil-based. This is not made with butter today. And now I've got to get my vanilla. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Vanilla always enchants it. Now, what I want to do now is, put my vanilla over here. I'm going to mix this together, so it's all blended. Okay. I'm now going to add in the wet into the dry. Yeah, my daughter loves these muffins, so I said, well, I'll make it, you know. It's not a very nice day out to even go outside today, so I might as well make them, you know. I'm going to add in the wet into the dry. Now, folks, it could be dry. I don't know. We have to see what happens when we start mixing everything together. If it's too dry, then we've got to go probably for another 1/2 cup of milk and end up with a whole cup of milk. Yeah, this is dry. I can see that already. I don't know why the recipe says a 1/2 cup of milk. That I can't answer. You see, look how dry this is. It's too dry, right? So I'm going to be adding in another 1/2 cup of milk. You don't know sometimes with something. If something is too dry, you have to, you know. There we go. This should be perfect. You want the batter to be moist so we can be able to grab it. Now this should be a lot better. Yeah, you can see it's beginning to loosen up more. Now, see that? This is what you want out of batter. You don't want something that's so dry that you can't even grab it. Much better. And I'm going to use a little bit of arm movement. Folks, we're going to add in a cup of milk from now on this recipe, because it's just a 1/2 cup is not enough. It's too dry, and you don't want to have something that's so dry that it's just too dry to even enjoy eating. So it's going to be a cup of milk. All right, now with the ice cream scooper, you always make sure your muffin tins are well greased. Okay? You know, my daughter pointed out, it's going to be a cup of milk from now on, not a 1/2 anymore when you make these, because then it's just too dry. you heat your oven up to 375. That's generally what you bake muffins with. I'm cooking for about 15-20 minutes at 375. Folks, 19 years ago, me and my husband were food shopping, and something horrible happened. Everything went silent all of a sudden. We found out that we were attacked. This is 9/11. The Twin Towers was attacked, and also the Pentagon. And folks, I have to tell you something very, very creepy. My brother-in-law, Paul, worked for the Pentagon. That very morning he woke up with an upset stomach. He said, I'm going to call out sick that day. I don't feel good. He called out. It saved his life. So I'm honoring the victims of 9/11 today. And also, I also want to honor the victims of COVID-19 virtually 19 years later. You know, it's a very sad thing that we're all living through. And, you know, I really want to thank the fire department, the police department for doing such a wonderful job 19 years ago for 9/11. I was trying to call my parents, busy signal for 4 hours, worried sick because I knew something horrible happened. So this is really an honor of the victims of 9/11 and also the police department, the fire department, and ambulance people, and my brother-in-law Paul for getting sick that day. And, you know, whatever way, Home Country Kids, have a great day. Peace, God, one for you.